Hi friends! So today in math we are going to play a game called Race to 100 grams of protein. What you need for this game is a pencil or something to write with, some paper, it can be notebook paper or blank paper, and you need access to your kitchen and your pantry or wherever you store your canned goods and packaged food and foods that you eat. So we are going to be looking at protein and kind of going on a scavenger hunt for protein in our kitchen. So, what is protein? Protein is something that we eat and it helps us build muscle and bones, and it gives us energy sometimes, and we have to consume different things. We have to consume different vitamins and different nutrients, and protein is one of those things that our body needs so that we can be strong and do all the activities that we want to do. Today we are going to go on a hunt for protein in our kitchen, and the goal is to get as close to 100 grams of protein as you can without going over. So we're going to be looking for things with protein and adding them up together. And you don't want to go to like 110. You want to go as close as you can to 100 without going over 100 grams. So you need to be a little strategic in what you pick out. So let's head to the kitchen. Okay, so we are here in my kitchen. And I am going to be going through my pantry and my refrigerator looking for foods in packages that might have protein. So first I want to go over how to find out how much protein is in a package. So, for example, we are going to take this can of beans. Most things that are in packages on the back have a nutritional facts label. And this is where companies tell you what is in the food and kind of like the vitamins. This says vitamin D and potassium. It also lists things like fat and calories, and it'll list protein. Protein is often in thick letters. It's called bold, and that's because it is pretty important. So they want to make it easy to see. So when you're looking for foods, make sure that you can see the nutritional facts table. Often it looks like this. It's in a nice chart. Sometimes you notice it's just words listed out. And luckily, because they put protein in big dark letters, it's easy to spot. You might need help at first getting started being able to find the nutritional facts. Ask a grown-up to help you, but after you get the hang of it, it's kind of easy to see. The other thing to know before we get started is that they divide these into servings. So what a serving is it is a way to just give a suggestion of how much you eat at one time. So for instance, if I get out a can of black beans, I might think, oh, how much of this should I eat in one meal? And on the back it says, well, I should eat half a cup is one serving. So for every half a cup, this is how many vitamins are in it, how many nutrients are in it. And just know that we're going to only look at one serving. So don't look at the entire can, just do it by serving. So whatever number is next to the protein is going to be the number that you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and hunt down some things in my kitchen. Alrighty, so we're back and I have a bunch of things out in front of me in the kitchen, and we are going to go ahead and get started. So we'll get started with, I'm just going to scoot these back so I can have my notebook right here. I'm ready to do my math. We're going to get started with some pasta. So I look at the back and I see that it says protein and it says 13 grams. I'm going to ignore all of this. That's for a different serving size. I'm just gonna look at the first one, and I just need to know what's the number right in front of that G that stands for grams. So in grams is just a unit of measurement, kind of like we measure distance in inches or miles or centimeters. We measure weight, we can measure it in grams or ounces or pounds. So this is 13 grams. So I'm going to write down 13. I don't have to write down that it is grams because I already have that labeled. And I'm not even going to list that it's pasta. I'm just going to write down 13. So, and remember, I'm racing to what number again? I'm racing to 100. All right, 13. Now let's look at falafel. All right, let's see. Can you find protein on here? It's in bold again. Right here. 12 grams of protein. So it's that first number right after protein is listed. 12 grams of protein. So I'll set this to the side. So I want to add these together because I'm trying to find the total amount of grams in my kitchen. So I'm going to do 13 plus 12 equals. So the strategy I'm going to use for this is breaking apart these numbers. So 13, breaking it into tens and ones. So I know that 10 plus 10 equals 20. And I know that 3 plus 2 equals 5. 20 plus 5 equals 25. So I know that together my pasta and falafel is 25 grams of protein. So when I go on, I'm going to take this 25, because this is my new number. I started at 0, I added 13 grams, then I added 12 more, and I got to 25. So now I'm going to down here write 25 plus, and then let's see what we add next. Now I'll add the black beans that I showed before. So on the back, I'm looking for protein. It's listed here. Protein is 7 grams. 25 plus 7 equals. All right, so for this, I could do the same strategy. I'm going to try a new one. I'm going to think about this on a number line, because 25 is a pretty friendly number. I love numbers that end in 5 or 0. I know that if I start at 25, to get to my next friendly number of 30, I need to add 5, and I know that 7 is more than 5. So I'll break apart 7 into 5, because I know I need that, plus 5, 6, 7, that's 2 more. So I'm going to do a jump of 5 to get to 30. That takes care of that, and then I have 2 more, plus 2 equals 32. So using this number line, I have 32. So I went from 13, I added 12, I got 25, plus 7 is 32. So now I'll come down here and I'll do 32 plus, set my beans to the side. Let's try hummus. I always think of hummus as having a lot of protein. Chickpeas have a lot of protein. Let's see. So this is that one that looks a little bit different, but protein's pretty easy to find because it's in that thick letters and it starts with a P. 2 grams. So this is the least amount so far. 32 plus 2 equals, well, 2 plus 2 is 4, so 32, 33, 34, that makes sense. As a mathematician, I always like to make sure that numbers make sense. If I added 32 plus 2 and ended up with like 100, I would think, does that make sense? So 34 makes sense because 2 and 2 is 4, so that makes sense to me that it ends in 34. All right, so now I'm starting at 34, set my hummus to the side. Let's try this bread. I love this kind of bread. All right. Here's my nutritional facts. Protein right here. 5 grams of protein. 34 plus 5 equals, well, I know that 4 plus 5 is 9. And this 3 is in the tens place. So it's not actually 3, it's actually 30. So 30 plus 9 equals 39. I'm at 39. I'm going to pull that down and start with 39 now. All right, I've got 2 things left. I was really curious about my Mega Chunks chocolate chips. I love chocolate chips. I like to put them in lots of my foods. Let's see, do they give me any protein? They give me 1 gram of protein. Ooh, but that actually makes me pretty happy because 39 plus 1, why do you think that makes me really happy as a mathematician? How much more do I need to add to 39 to get to the friendly number of 40? You're right, I just need to add 1. So that gets me to 40. That's a nice even number. Okay, now I have hemp hooks. I come to the back. I see protein in bold. It's all, I'm noticing that it's often above this dark line. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not. So protein, 10 grams. Adding 10 is also a really fun thing for me to do. 40 plus 10. I know that I just have to, my ones place is going to stay the same with a 0, and my tens place will just go up 1. So that equals 50. So far I'm at 50 grams. Okay, so I'm at 50 grams. I am going to keep hunting through my kitchen and finding items. Maybe they're in my refrigerator, or maybe they're in my pantry, or maybe they're somewhere else. I'm going to keep finding things until I get, like I said, as close to 100 as I can without going over. Toward the end, I'm going to want things like these chocolate chips with the little numbers. For now, I'm still kind of looking for things with big numbers. What strategies are you going to come up with? I'm excited to hear what kind of foods you find, what surprises you, having a lot of protein or little protein. You can get pretty creative, maybe you'll even come up with some recipes or foods that you want to make from this. So have fun, and I can't wait to see how close to 100 grams of protein you get.